is an autistic boy. He's 15 years old. He's been missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And everybody has been looking for him. Everybody. He is 5 foot 5 inches tall. He weighs 120 pounds. Sandy blonde hair, and he wears glasses. And again, there is no footprint of him whatsoever.
You think back, and there might have been a reason he was possibly upset or something outside that could have enticed him to go outside. Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. That morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving.
This boy, I've done told y'all, reminds me of my son that had autism, that is my third son. And he disappeared right down the road from part of where my family lives. And I take all of these cases serious. I am not playing about anything right now.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play.
I'm not trying to accuse them of anything. I'm trying to tell you how suspicious they are now becoming.
Everywhere you go, you can hear the laughter. Little kids playing, chasing after. Innocence shines bright like a built-in light. With their giggles and smiles, everything feels right. Oh, the joy of little children filling up the air. Their happiness, contagious, nothing can compare. Just watch them run and play, carefree and wild. Oh, the joy of little children.
Your theory.
I think it's possible that someone has my son. I think it's possible that someone has my son. I think it's possible that someone has my son.
Who, Katie? Who? You hold the key. Who has your son? Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello again. Hello, Angel Wings. Hello. Let me get up here. Okay, let's see. We got Angel Wings here and Miss Janice, beautiful Janice. Hello. And Chicken Lady, Melanie. Hello. Hello. Miss Beautiful Grace. How are y'all doing? We have show poodles. There's that beautiful poodle. Hello. And Dawn. Hello. Angel Wings, I just love you. Thank you for being here. Sherry Lynn and Susan Elizabeth. Hello. Welcome, Lisa B. Always. And Millie. Hi, Millie. Hello. Good to see you. We have, I will cut you out, or I will call you out. I will call you out every time. Hello. How are you, Bo? Hello. M. Blanc, Susan Kemp, Joni. Hello. I am so glad you're all here. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. I hope everybody is having a great day. Let me put this down a minute. I hope you're having a great day. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Smiley's World. I hadn't seen y'all in a while, so I know I always say that. I always see that T cross that ain't there. Sorry about that. You know I'm always going to mess your name up. Oh, my gosh. But it's okay. I still love you. Oh my gosh. So how are y'all doing today? It's still May 31st. I'm still waiting on it to roll on over in June. I'm still waiting. So anyway, I hope everybody is doing good. Hey, Valley girl. Hello. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. Glad everybody's here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And yes, prayers for Sebastian. Absolutely. Prayers, green hearts. Hey, Susan Kemp. Hello. Lots of graduation parties. Your grand twins are tomorrow. And then I think we're finished. Whew. I know. And June, everything is going on. Nancy Fleming. Hello. Good to see you. Hello, Nancy. Hello. Nice to see everybody. There's a lot going on into May, going into June. There should be lots to do. June is, the month for, I know in my family, it's the month for birthdays. Hey, Joe, winning. Are you winning, Joe? Winning. Hey, as long as we're winning, we're doing great, honey. As long as we're winning. Hey, Sherry Lynn. It's the time for weddings. You know what? Valentine's shouldn't be love month. June should be love month. Everybody wants to get married in June. I just figured that out. Maybe somebody needs to change that. I'm just saying. Just saying, honey. Just saying. So, Teresa M., hello. I am so glad you're here. I am so glad everybody is here with me. I thank you for being here with me. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me smiling. Woo. I'm getting better. Ooh. Me and Justin's going to have a spin-off on that and see who's better. Woo. Hey, Nice Marie. Hello. He didn't see me that one day. I typed it in his chat. I said, thank y'all for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be with me. I was playing with him. He's so funny when he says that. Tasha, whoop. Welcome to Smiley Squad. Welcome to the membership, honey. Let me just tell y'all. Hold on. I'm moving on up. Woo. Hold on a minute. I just got to figure out how to do this. I got to figure out how to put it there. Hold on. Y'all just hold your horses. Just hold on. That's took me 5 years to do this, but now I'm trying to figure out how to get it from here to here. Thank you, Tasha. This is for you, honey.
Vamos todos a bailar el arram sam sam. Doody doody dum dum doody doody. La ta ta beep 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 beep. Ding 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 ding. I like to move it. Ding 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 ding. Chicken banana.
I just got to figure out how to transfer it and everything. One of those things. So, hey, everybody else can do it. I can do it too, honey. I can do it too. So, thank you for becoming a member. I'm a little bit slow. I'm a little bit behind, but that's okay. It's okay. It's all good in Smiley's hood. It's all good in Smiley's hood, honey. That's right. Nothing compares to them babies' giggles. That's right. Oh, my goodness. So yeah, y'all hit them thumbs up. It's all good over here in Smiley's Hood. Yeah, I love them baby giggles. Oh my God, I saw that. I don't even know who to give credit to, honestly, but it come from TikTok. They're all over TikTok. That's all I can tell you. I didn't make it, and so I will give credit to whoever it is. I don't know. I didn't see it, but we love it. Hey, Woman's Warrior, a better sound than, yeah, there's no better sound than a baby's laughter. That's right. I love it. I love it. And I love the chicken, banana. It is what it is. It is great. It is great. Oh my gosh. Have y'all got your drinks and your coffee? I want to check my email one more time because I got an email from somebody today and I hope it's okay. I'm not going to say their name or anything, but they've had a couple hours to write back. You know, it's Saturday. Maybe they're busy, but I will never, I just want y'all to know about oh, here it is. Hold on a minute. Let me just make sure that's okay. Hold on. Let me read this for a minute. I just got it. Hold on. And they may be watching. Hey, I'm reading your email. Hold on a minute. Oh, interesting. Hmm. Sorry, y'all. This is happening in real time, so just bear with me. Okay. Okay, that's all I was waiting on right there. Okay, they said I could read the email. I could read the email. I won't, and then good. Okay, so I got a reply. Okay. Hold on. All right. Okay. So, today, and hello everybody coming in, Jen in Georgia, anybody I missed. I'm going to put Sebastian's sweet face back up here, okay? I got an email this morning. I didn't get it until after I had my show. Hey, Raymond, until after I had my other show today. Hey, Amanda, everybody coming in, welcome. But I got this email, so I'm going to put what they wrote to me. I will never, ever, if you write me anything or tell me, and like I wrote them back and told them, I never give out my sources, not even to a court of law. That's what I told them. I'm not going to. They can hang it the freak up, okay? I'm not going to. I will plead the fifth first. But anyway, they said, hi, Miss Smiley. My wife and I have called the sheriff as we are residents of Hendersonville and reside on Stafford. That's what they said. We called to ask him questions, not privy information questions. As residents, we would have some sort of understanding. His first question before we told him who we are was, are you from YouTube? So that's what Craddock asked this person. They said, are you from YouTube? And of course they told him no. He went on to outline the misinformation YouTube has caused. I told Eric Eric, sorry, they didn't put Craddock, so hold on. They said, I told Eric YouTube creators and chatters are not responsible for the misinformation. There are a few creators who align themselves with Chris and Katie. He didn't like that answer. I asked Eric, why did he say there is no evidence that Sebastian left the house? In parentheses, he had no comment. I followed up with, if that is the case, where is Sebastian? If he didn't run away, how did Sebastian leave in the darkness without shoes, a jacket? And again, he said, no comment. He continued to say that he had important matters to deal with and needed to get off the phone. I asked him, is Sebastian not important? He didn't comment. I explained to him that it feels like a cover-up. At this point, he got angry and said, Carter is on it, and if anything developed, they would have a press conference. At the moment, there is nothing to report. And then he disconnected. I don't want to state my feelings over the email, but I firmly believe foul play. That boy didn't walk off. His father, Seth, has the CP's reports. He knows what was happening in that house after the fact. He should have been notified by CPS. My daughter is law enforcement in Virginia, and she don't believe Sebastian is a runaway. What we, the public, have been told so far amounts to nothing. He was last seen leaving Texas Roadhouse in the custody of his mother, who can't give her story and get her timeline straight, and the stepfather, who allegedly was in Mississippi, can answer all the questions. What parent says their child would never be found? Maybe we can have a phone call and go further with all the red flags. I would like to thank you for everything you do. We watch. Eric has a problem asking for help, and I ask why. I feel like they want the case noted as a cold case. Again, why? Why would any parent stop people from searching and sabotage? You would welcome all the help and be on any podcast, the news pleading for help and calling out your son's name. They never did. Why? The only one looking for Sebastian is his father, Seth. Eric needs to turn in his badge for multiple reasons. Again, thank you, Smiley. We must band together and make sure they know we will not stop until Sebastian is found, and those all found responsible are put on trial and convicted and sent off to prison. Would you also thank Justin, please? And also, we also watch his streams. I have talked to President Trump's DOJ about this. We had enough of this silence. I back the blue, but if anyone blue hurt the case, they need to be in jail. So many red flags adds up or makes, so many red flags, nothing adds up or makes any sense. We aren't blind or stupid. Again, thank you. Now, this is what they wrote me. So basically, without going back to what I wrote them, I told them, you know, I appreciated it. I will let Justin know. I thank them, you know, all the things. I would never reveal who they are. I asked them, did they know them? Have they ever spoke to them? Did they know Sebastian before, after, etc.? I had about 2 or 3 things I asked them. Now, I just now got this back. And this is what it says. I'm reading this off my phone. It says, we never had a conversation with them before Sebastian disappeared or after. When they first moved into the house, they didn't even know they had a kid. They said, we didn't know they had a kid. It was about 2 or 3 months later we found out, which that's a red flag to me. People didn't even know Sebastian lived there. But anyway, I'm sorry. He was last seen with his mother at Texas Roadhouse. Excuse me. We all saw the footage, and that was the last time he was seen. His mother suddenly had memory fog. We only have her version of events to believe or not to. She, Katie, the last person with Sebastian that night, allegedly. I don't see that boy after a long, fun day decide to run away. Where to? Why no shoes, jacket, money, or phone? It doesn't make sense. Sebastian would have called his father. It's been 15 months. We don't know what was happening in that house. Only Sebastian's father, Seth, and the CPS reports. We were shocked to hear the stepfather talk. We listened to him on streams, and he sounds, in my opinion, like a violent person. He threatened the PI with violence. He did the same to Seth on that call. Why would you make fun of a person with a disability? That is nothing to joke about. Why can't he provide proof of his location? Not one person came out to confirm his location. Not the RV park, his physical location, someone that put eyes on him. Why not answer it? If he took a poly, I don't believe for a second that law enforcement would have told him not to say. If they did, why? Seth took one and passed. Miss Grace set it up, and with the former head of the FBI, the best of the best. As I told you, Smiley, my daughter is law enforcement, and it hurts to say this, but in my opinion, feels like a cover-up. I hope that I'm wrong. We would like to see fresh eyes on the case. The longer it goes, the chances of this going cold is very high. We all need to make sure they know the world is watching them. We will not forget on Election Day. That's a promise. Like Sebastian's father said, we can find bin Laden, but can't find Sebastian, his son? What parent comes out with Sebastian will never be found? Why is he so sure? We have been here since 2007, and we're thinking about selling, moving out of Sumner County. I don't think I would agree to a conversation with Chris or Katie if asked. They can start, in my opinion, telling the FBI the truth. This kid needs to be found. His father needs and deserves answers. He didn't vanish into thin air. We got the light video. Why did Eric dismiss it? The trash truck? That was not a trash truck. Why would Eric tell Christopher to say it was a trash truck. We have Nina. My wife cried listening to her interview. In my opinion, no child should be around them until we find out what happened to Sebastian. I call for Eric to turn in his badge and put the case in the hands that will do the job. As in, medicine, time is tissue. What all was done in their house? What forensics? In my opinion, the runaway theory was a distraction. Critical time lost. Do we really know the timeline? Who can we trust? You can read the emails, Miss Smiley. All I ask is not to be named. We have our reasons why. In my opinion, they won't use to forget about Sebastian so they can mark it a cold case. We all can't allow that to happen. They need to be reminded every day. We will not forget Sebastian. Sebastian deserves justice. I understand the TBI and FBI are involved, but Sumner County is lead. That needs to change. I can speak for everyone, but on election day, we will exercise our right to vote and vote those out. Again, thank you, Smiley, for all you do. No, thank you. And if you're watching, thank you so very, very much. I appreciate that. Yes, whoever sent that knows exactly what they're talking about. And you know what, Eric Credit, you should be a damn ashamed of yourself. Having somebody there local call you to speak with you and you treat them like they're the press. No comment. No comment. And then you want to hang up on them? You know what? There's people higher up than you, man, that's watching you. And that too is in writing. Mr. Snuggle. Just saying. I only call it where I see it. And you just deserved that. And you know who you are. I will never say who you are. I will never put that out. Not even if they subpoena me. Okay? So I agree with you 100,000%. And anytime you need to reach out to me, you are more than welcome. And that goes for anybody. This person right here did the right thing. And I suggest anybody that calls, write that paper trail down, write who you talk to, and I got it for this person as well. Write it down. But don't let it discourage you because they won't do their jobs. Everybody has a boss. You may not think so, but just watch and see. Thank you very, very much. And I'm so glad I got that because I feel better knowing I actually had permission to read that. I really do. And people, y'all need to be scared when people start speaking out. In fact, we will go over Justin's, what he played last night, and he had somebody else who did speak out last night on Sebastian. And we'll go over that in a bit. But I appreciate this. You know, we're getting a feel of what people are thinking there and what people are thinking of law enforcement. And again, not all law enforcement's bad, man. But, you know, everybody knows when you're in law enforcement and you're the good guy, you're pretty much forced to back your brotherhood. You know, everybody knows that. you know? And it's sad. It's sad. But look here. Seth is one of y'all too. Believe it or not. And y'all are tormenting this man every single day. Every day. Look, y'all. I'm not perfect. And I don't have this great channel with all this bling and all this stuff. But one thing for sure, I care about my cases and I care about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And I want him found. And that's a fact. This evening, I'm here for one reason, and that's Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and not letting his face and his name slip away. And for the awareness and keeping his story alive. Thank you, Janice. Thank you for the super sticker. Woo, woo. Thank you, Janice. I love you, honey. And thank you, everybody coming in. Thank you for being here. Awareness, we got to keep awareness, and we got to keep his name alive, and we got to keep the pressure on. We got to keep the pressure on. You know, Sebastian's last meal was that night at Texas Roadhouse. Last meal. Think about that. And I'd be willing to bet he didn't get no snacks. I'd be willing to bet. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was 15 years old at the time when he went missing. He was just 15. 15. Do y'all remember when you were 15? I do. He had his whole life ahead of him. Yes, that letter says it all. Absolutely. And again, I encourage more people to speak out. I will call you out. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Sebastian had brown hair, brown eyes, black framed glasses. He was said to be wearing all black, but no shoes. Imagine that. Approximately 120 pounds and 5'5". He didn't take his phone. Okay, yes, that's fine. Yes, please do, M. Blanc. He didn't take his phone. He didn't take no plans with him. He didn't take no money. You know, nothing. But he had a fun-filled day with his mother, Katie Proudfoot, who allegedly cooked him spaghetti pancakes and allowed him to talk or to FaceTime with family members on the phone per her that morning. And hopefully, you know, they have all of that and they can see who he was talking to. I'm assuming that was her mother that's not even supposed to be around kids, but okay. That's just an assumption I have. Then they went off to this, according to her, very busy day, ending in mom and son at dinner. Matter of fact, let me pull this up. We don't have to, I don't think there's no voice on it, so we can talk while we're doing this. Let's see. Let's see. I want to put the right one up. Oh, thank you, Nice Marie. Woo-hoo! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's time to release the photos of the flashlight I done in the proper channel. I am trying to hide what's behind the big light and the flashlights. Let's say more than 5 people. It wouldn't surprise me, honey. It wouldn't surprise me. If y'all got stuff you want me to put out, and I can, just send it to me. I'll look at it and see what I can do. Okay, Cook G. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Now look at his last meal there. Look at all that. And he sits so nice, and the whole time she can't be bothered, in my opinion. She cannot be bothered. She's just looking at everything and everybody, and that's just my opinion, though. I heard of looking around, but this takes the cake. She obviously ain't looking for the waitress. In my opinion. Yeah, it does look like she was waiting for someone. Yeah, we all wish somebody was that well behaved, right? I would give anything if those people sitting next to her in that booth right there would have heard something and come forward. Thank you, Raymond's Army. Woo-hoo! Raymond said, we are Sebastian's army and we will not stop. No, we will not stop. We are not going to stop. Absolutely. We're not going to stop. Mama Todd, thank you for becoming a new member. Woo, woo. Welcome to Smiley Squad. Thank you for becoming a new member. Absolutely. So this one was the short version, and they leave. But he left. He also left with his hands in his pocket. Very nice, very well mannered. Unbelievable. And then there's one, because this is not the whole full thing, but he even went to the bathroom by himself, come back, sat down, and there's something she told him or said to him that just got his whole demeanor down. I don't get it. I don't get it. But thank you, Mama Todd, for becoming a member. But anyway, his last meal, and all she could do is, hey, hindsight, hello. All she could do is just pay attention to everything but him. And that's just my opinion. Until she got ready to tell him whatever it was she told him. And, that was that. But they had a very busy day. They had dinner at the Texas Roadhouse. And I'm just breaking all this down. And it seemed to be Sebastian's last photo, his last meal, and the real last camera footage, like outside of her, that he was getting in the car with his mother leaving Texas Roadhouse, the last time the public or anybody saw him, unless somebody's not come forward. So she says, they made it home. All doors were locked, and basically she gets on this long phone call with her husband, Chris Proudfoot, who was supposed to allegedly be out of town. Basically 3 hours away. He had it down to the doorstep, which is kind of odd. But anyway, wonder if he just did it for that night or that day, because that's something, hey, I'm originally from Nashville. We just go, Memphis is 3 hours away. We don't go, or he's like, I work 3 hours away. He went doorstep to doorstep, honey, like he was trying to prove something. Why was he trying to prove something that night? And the phone call, 9:43 or 9:46, everything had to be just that night. That's red flags, people. I'm sorry. Yeah, Craddock just proved everyone correct that they are being ignored by him. He's a snotty little bastard, if you want to know what Smiley now thinks of him. Craddock, if you're listening to this, I don't have to like you because you're law enforcement. I think you're a snotty little bastard. Period. To hang up unprofessional and be dismissive. And I will be writing other higher up letters. You're a snotty little bastard who don't deserve to be sheriff. And the only reason you are sheriff is because the other guy died. Remember? Or did you forget? I don't like snot-nosed bastards. I don't like snot-nosed bastards. Hey, Kimbo. Yeah, smacking gum while he's on an interview about a missing child. And he's another one that don't have respect for women. He sure is. I'll say it. Just might be a woman that comes in there and fires his ass. I'm just saying. But Sebastian allegedly made it home, which I believe he did. All doors were locked. She gets on this long phone call with her husband, Chris Proudfoot, who was supposed to be out of town at work. And it don't mean he was out of town at work. But Sebastian was told to go to bed. Good night, Mommy. Good night, puppies. I love you, according to her. But did y'all notice something during that whole thing? I might be wrong. Hey, Lucy, Lou, and everybody coming in. I might be wrong. Every time she's told that, he said, good night, Mommy. Good night, puppies. I love you. Did she say that back? Because I'm not sure. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and say she didn't. But I don't think she did. Anyway. But Sebastian did go to bed, allegedly. But he was heard from when Katie heard this noise, she said, while she was Still on the phone. Well, we don't know, because she said she was on the phone. Then she told Nancy Grace she was studying. That come in. Oh my God, that come in later. Anyway, whatever she was doing, she heard this noise and she said, "Bubba, are you okay there?" And he allegedly responded, "Yes, Mom." So she said, "I don't know what you're doing in there. Just go to bed." And that's changed a couple of times, but I'm just giving you the rundown. Which later said she described and added the noise was a thud. She told Nancy Grace that. And she said she was studying a book as well for some kind of test. Boy, I sure hope she passed that test. I hope that test was worth it. I sure do. All the while, Chris Proudfoot said while he was on the phone, she started to fall asleep. And he told her to get in the bed. But again, she said she never checked on Sebastian until she went to get him up for school and he wasn't there. Funny thing though, there's neighbors and stuff who say that light come on at a certain time, and guess what? I asked her about that in our interview, but she says, "No, I never went in there." Okay. I believe you about like I can throw you. I believe Chris over you, you dumb dingbat. Just saying. So then she went to get him up for school. He wasn't there. She calls her husband Chris allegedly in Memphis at 3 hours away. Not 911. Oh no. Oh no. You're holding the world's feistiest guinea pig. Oh my God. You better be good, that guinea pig. And not his father, Seth, who actually worked for Davidson County law enforcement. Nope, not him either. And he was actually at work. And guess what? She was not banging on doors in the neighborhood. Oh, I should have asked that neighbor if they're listening. Did she come knocking on your door? She wasn't knocking on neighbors' doors. Help, my son's missing. Oh, but the best part is she knew others around there that had kids. Didn't Bobby have kids? Did she go to any houses that actually did have kids and knock on the door, or drive to any houses that literally had kids and say, hey, Sebastian's missing. I'm just wondering if your child might have saw my son. Did they see Sebastian? Do they know anything about Sebastian? Has he said anything about leaving or anything? No. That would be what you would do if you had a child missing and there was kids in the neighborhood. But did she do that? No, she didn't. There's actually a time-stamped video picture where she went and got in her car with her windows rolled up that morning and drove down the road for show. And then, oh, thank you, Joe. You're so sweet. Thank you. Ooh, I got to do something special for Joe. Hold on, Joe. Hold on. I ain't like Justin. I got to do this for you. Hold on. Joe's telling me to shut my mouth and play this. Oh, I gotta take my camera off, don't I? Let's see.
Dame tu cosita, dame tu cosita. Vamos todos a bailar el arranzanzán. I like to move it, move it.
There you go, Joe. That one's for you. That one's for you. I'm just not like Justin. I can't get it up there yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Oh my God. Yep. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah. And last night during Justin's live, which we're going to go over that too, guess what? The lady that had talked to the teachers at the school and had lunch with them and all that and gave so much information, she just went to the school, didn't stop, didn't get out. But guess what? Law enforcement has all that too on video, Miss KK. Sure does. All that was for show. All of it. So, you know, you're not pulling the wool. Oh, thank you, Lorraine Law. I figured I better get up and shower after about a week. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. They'll be running with that, honey. I'm kidding. Oh, thank you so much. What next? Oh God, I should have never said that. I'm kidding. Oh God. But she drove to the school and back and she didn't get out. Now, who does not get out? Seriously, who does not get out of their car? I mean, seriously, that's crazy. Hey, Babs 22. I think she told Sebastian that CP was home and will be at the house when they got there. Yeah. And which also makes me wonder why she bought them groceries. I think, in my opinion, she did that for him on certain days and stuff. And I think he picked them up and, because I'm sure he didn't go shopping at the Costco and the BJ's and the things. I mean, he's so used to somebody doing stuff for him. And I'm not saying milk and cheese and all that stuff, and I think he probably brought his clothes home and, washed them or something like that. And, I have a feeling that he was, that he was there during that time. That's just my opinion. And that's what I'm sticking with, But again, I still think this whole entire thing was pre-planned. That's just me. Yeah, he's too hot-headed to be in public. Absolutely. Absolutely. But y'all clutch them pearls as well, because they had a special guest last night, Justin did, on Clutch Them Pearls. And she said she was on camera. Katie was on camera with law enforcement. And I know that they have that. You know, they have that. In the meantime, her husband, Chris, you know, dials the direct number to law enforcement in Sumner County reporting Sebastian missing with his mother on mute, and it's just unnormal. That's unnormal. But that's when KK got home and the investigation started. But no, Sebastian was nowhere. No, Sebastian was anywhere at all. Absolutely nowhere to this day, 15 months later. Is he anywhere? His age, you know, and the pain for his loved ones, the silence surrounding all this. Seth, I mean, he wants answers. It's been emotional. In my opinion, Sebastian very often gets overlooked, and it's not fair. It's like some just want him to go away, and guess what? He's not going away. We are not going away. We're not going to. At least not the few of us that are still talking about him. We're not going anywhere. People don't scare us. What if this was your child? What if this was your sibling, your friend, your niece, your nephew, you know, your cousin? I know you would never stop. I would never give up. I would go to the ends of the earth. I want y'all, if you have children or grandchildren, or brothers or sisters or cousins or anybody or people you love more than life, I want you to take a real good look at them next time you're around them. I want you to, I don't want you to make it obvious, but I want you to give them a hug. I want you to smell them. I want you to, you know, rub their hair or whatever. I love you, Matthew. Thank you for being here. And then I want you to step back. You don't tell them. You don't have to, because you don't need to worry them with this. And I want you to step back. And then I want you to look at them. And then when you do, I want you to think to yourself, oh my God, what if this was Sebastian? And I ain't talking about if them, parents, whatever did this. I'm talking about, what if this was Sebastian disappearing in the thin air and people just want to sweep it under the rug? I say respectfully pressure the authorities and keep investigating. To keep investigating. Keep them investigating. I don't give a damn if somebody like snot-nosed Eric Craddock hangs up. Matter of fact, when I get off here, I'm going to write him another letter. Don't let Sebastian be forgotten. We have to be his voice. We must be his voice. He's just a kid. He's a young boy. I don't care that he turned 16 in December. His disappearance isn't just a news headline. It's a heart-stopping nightmare. It's reality that someone's still living through. Seth is still living through this. Thank you, Justin. And I say Seth because he's the only one we're fighting, that, you know, we see fighting for answers. And there's still no answers. Look, in my opinion, actions speak louder than words. That's just life. There's something deeply wrong when a child can vanish and the world just keeps moving. Isn't that what Chris said? Isn't that what he said, though? Life goes on. And Katie, right there, following his lead. In this day and age, man, that's sad. But some cases get constant coverage and others fade away. That happens too often. But it happens to your most vulnerable who are forgotten. Sebastian deserves the same urgency, the same spotlight, the same compassion, the drive to bring him home that we expect from anyone else we love or for anyone else we love. We can't afford to be silent. We can't be silent because the camera's moved on. Sebastian's story is not over. Sebastian is not a story either. He shouldn't be a number. He's Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And he needs to be found. And that means we don't stop. We don't give up. You might think you can't do much. I always say can't never could do nothing. But if one share leads to the tip that leads to the one answer, that changes everything. That could be what blows this case wide open or brings him home or gets him justice. You know, I'm sure if you're human, even if you don't have a child, you can feel this. You can feel this deep ache, this unanswered question that keeps you up at night. That's what his family feels. You think we feel bad? Where's Sebastian? What do you think? What do you think Seth feels? Why haven't they been on LE to do something? Could it be because they're guilty? You know, it's absolutely red flags in my opinion. You would think a mother would not leave. And again, for show, leaving food outside when he knows the key to he knows the password to get in the house anyway. What the hell was that? What's he going to do? Just come on the porch and eat food that ants and bugs and rats and stuff got into and then be on his merry damn way? Come on now. Or what, did they change the locks to? Give me a break. Give me a break. I'm sure if you're human, they're not I can tell you too that's not acting human. Let me just say that. But if you're human, you care. Let me tell you what, I care. I care because no child should be lost and no child should be unheard. I care because silence don't bring justice. I care because this could be anyone. It could be mine. It could be yours. It could be anyone. Me, you. We'd want someone out there keeping the light on. let's watch some of this. I'm going to give credit to Justin. Y'all drop his link. Clutch Them Pearls. This was interesting too. Justin, I know you're listening. I don't know if you heard or not about the email that I got. It's more or less at the front of this video from somebody right there in that neighborhood. And they actually talked to Craddock. If you didn't, I hope you listened to it. It's interesting. And you're more than welcome to read it on yours if you would like. I got a response back from them to make sure, but yeah, you might want to rewind if you didn't. But anyway, it's very interesting. Now we all know, in my opinion, Craddock's a little snot nose. That's just for me to say, nobody else. Okay, anyway, hold on. Let me give Justin the full credit for Clutch Them Pearls. Go over and see Justin. And I know he'll be doing a live tonight. Let's see. Hold on a minute. Let's see. I hope this one's it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's not it, but I wanted to play this for y'all. Hold on, let's do this one first. This is a song Miss Annie made, and this really touched me. We're going to play this one first, and then I'll go to Justin's. Hold on, because I'm scared I'll drop Justin's. Hold on. All right, listen to this one. I hope Miss Annie don't mind. Go Seashore Annie did this one, and we're going to listen to this and then give her full credit. Please drop her channel. Listen to this song, and I wanted y'all to watch it. So thank God I got it up here correctly. Okay, hold on. I got to go back and just hold on. Hey, Shelly.
Oh, child, sweet child, we imagine you're suffering at the hands of a bully who probably dreamed of smothering. Oh, child, sweet child, no one heard your scream. Would anyone have challenged him, even if they did? That night, oh lady, oh that night, was it a long one, or were you sleeping tight? Was it you? Did you take off your watch before closing your eyes? Did you sleep through the chaos? Were events that morning such a surprise? Was it really a shock to find your child gone? Did life change in a heartbeat as your lives came undone? Did he cry out to you, saying, Mom, Mom, please no? Did a stranger take him? Did you just let him go? Where is he? Did he cry out your name as he was carried like a feather Skin, bones, and silence, you broke the maternal tether. Oh, child, sweet child, we imagine your suffering at the hands of a bully who probably dreamed of smothering. Oh, child, sweet child, no one heard your screams. Would anyone have challenged him? Even if they did. Was it really a shock to find your child gone? Did life change in a heartbeat as your lives came undone? Did he cry out to you, saying, Mom, Mom, please no? Did a stranger take him? Did you just let him go? You did everything right, child. You played by the book to protect yourself from the bully's right hook. You were badly let down at each and every turn. We will fight for your justice and make these departments learn that children come first. They must be believed. Do your damn job, or you'll be relieved. Oh, child, sweet child, the world is now poorer, and hell will freeze over before another adores her, unless she shows sorrow and confesses her sin. She must tell where you are now if she ever wants to win. The chains must be broken before they turn to rust. Oh, child, sweetest child, you deserve trust. Oh, child, sweet, sweet child, there really was no trust.
That's Seashore Annie. Please, please go sub to her. That's what she does. She writes songs. She's got a bunch, tons of beautiful songs about Sebastian. If you did not know, go to her channel. Janice just dropped the link and sub up for her. And please, please listen to them. She has some beautiful, beautiful songs about Sebastian. And that one right there was so beautiful today. I was like, oh my God, I need to play that. There's a few I need to play. I just don't want to step on any toes, but she's so good to me. And I just wanted to share that one. I just thought, man, that's beautiful. So hold on a minute. Now we're going to play Justin's. It's hard for me to see sometimes, and then I get the wrong one. I apologize. Hold on a minute.
And
I think she's fixing to come on. I think he's fixing to bring her on. Wait a minute. Don't tell me I stopped the noise. Hold on a minute.
getting the perspective of how he was at school, because school was his safe space, in my opinion. It's where he felt he loved to go to school, right? And I really think we can learn a little bit more. Now, there is a couple things that we'll discuss that it's shocking, but not shocking, if you will, in my opinion. But other than that, it's really just about Sebastian. Lady for Justice, thank you so much, my dear. Good to see you, honey.
And this is what I love, this lady calling in. She told so much about Sebastian that we learned so much.
To give a big thank you to Our Lady. Really do appreciate you, love. And thank you, Miss Robin. Good to see you. Thank for stuff and Sebastian still. We love you, sir. Thank you so much, Robin. Really do appreciate you, my friend. And so good to see you, honey. Thank you. All right. So if that person wants to call in, we'll just go ahead and get started about what they talked about. I'm not going to give the who that they talked to at the school. You know, I've already spoken to people that they've actually reached out to me regarding some things in the school. So without further ado, good. How are you, dear? Hold on, let me fix my mic real quick. How's it going? Can we get a mic check? Can y'all hear?
Can you hear me?
Mic check, mic check. Can y'all hear okay? Yep. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
All right. So you and your mom knows people at that school, right?
Right.
Hold on, my camera just froze. What happened?
Oh no.
Oh well, y'all can still hear me. I'll turn the camera off. All right. So your mom knows people in the school, and y'all, I knew you was y'all had like a little lunch date together. When was it? Just a week ago?
It was actually yesterday.
Oh, was it yesterday? Okay, I can't remember. God, it seems like it's been, I don't know. But anyway.
Yes.
That's what I wonder, Ginger Snap.
Literally, I think a day seems like a year sometimes.
I know.
So how did everything went good with the dinner? And I think you learned some stuff about
Little Red.
Sebastian.
When this is over, go listen to the email that I read at the beginning. Not email, or
my mom knew this particular person that works at the school, and interacted with Sebastian. And so she knew him, and it was interesting to hear that perspective. I don't think we've heard. We hear so many other perspectives, but it was interesting to hear
who he was in front of his peers and stuff as well. Yeah,
exactly. In the school, their perspective.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting. Yeah.
So the one thing about Sebastian, I thought was kind of cute, in my opinion, was you was telling me about the library.
Yeah. So this person told me that in the library they have a walking track like you would have at the gym. Some children learn better while they're walking or
in motion,
doing something. And so that gives them, the children there the ability to, if they want to walk and read, they can do that. And he enjoyed doing that.
That's really, so he was it's like a repetition almost,
right?
And they teach in other countries as well. Like when I visited other countries, they will do like if my camera's not on, but they'll do like almost like a rocking motion when they're learning.
Yeah.
As repetitiveness, I guess it.
Right.
I remember when we used to work, they finally allowed us those big, huge balls at the desk. And we would sit there and bounce on them balls all day. But yeah, a lot of people like that. And I was glad to hear all about Sebastian and the things he liked. And I was glad to hear that he liked walking while reading. I just thought that was pretty nice. I really did. If this lady is listening, I know it's hard to type it in chat sometimes, which I did several times in the chat last night. And I know many of you did. But I really appreciate her coming and talking. And I hope she comes back again and talk to Justin, because I really appreciate her focusing on Sebastian and letting us get to really know him at school. And the best thing that I heard was he did have friends.
Right. And, and we all kind of learn differently. Some kids have to sit down to read. They might have to be in a quiet place to read,
right,
and actually sit and look at the book. Some people are better at audio while they're doing things. And so everybody just learns differently. And I love that they have that option for them to do that. So I found that really interesting.
So, this one of this person, they helped issue the electronics out.
Correct.
Yeah.
So do you want me to kind of go into that?
Yep.
On that?
Yep.
Okay.
Please.
So the way
Sorry.
that Sumner County, you're fine. The way that Beach High School does it is, at the beginning of the year, the parents or guardians have a waiver that they can opt in for their child to have an iPad. Most parents do, and the iPad lets them, do homework, or they can actually go further with their learning. So, like if they're teaching one thing and the student wants to go ahead and work on something else, maybe they want to move forward with the curriculum, they have the option to do that. And they can do their makeup work as well. Correct. Yes. The guardians have to opt in for that. And you can opt out for that. So, when Sebastian went missing, the police did try and find out what was on that iPad, but Sebastian didn't have an iPad, a school iPad. So I guess KK did not opt him in for the iPad.
You know why I think they said that? I think they wanted to keep him locked in. And in my opinion, I don't think they wanted anybody to ever come to their house. I don't think they wanted him to have friends. I don't think they wanted people to know what was going on. Sure, maybe Katie had her girlfriend and I just think they wanted to keep it within the family. He liked to stress nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors. And I just think they were ashamed of him, honestly. I really do, in my opinion. And that's sad to say. That's just my opinion.
The iPad.
Yeah, I mean, she just, basically that would probably be right. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And because she said that 99.9% of kids had them in school. Right. Yeah, she said most children have iPads. I think I'm getting sick. I'm sorry.
And she said that they were very secure. They had firewalls. And, you know, if a child lost it, the school could ping them. They could trace them. And also, there's a record of any time that they used a school computer to look up things. You have to sign in to use those computers, and those were checked as well.
And so Sebastian's computers was checked at school to see if he was like speaking to anybody or anything like that. And there was nothing allegedly on there. Okay. Okay. And she said that like 99.9%, like he was.
See, I think, because this bothers me too, I think that the reason too is that they were claiming he had no friends is because, you know, they're doing it now in this case, especially Chris. And this is what the bigger law above Craddock needs to understand. They're interfering. There's nobody hindering this case but Chris and Katie, especially Chris. But they claim that Sebastian had no friends because they're literally trying to run a narrative, in my opinion. And they may not have wanted people over, they wanted to keep him secluded, Justin, and they didn't want anybody to be a witness to anything that they were doing. Hell, it was bad enough they were already witnesses to, or not witnesses, they were already, already had CPS out there and stuff like that. But again, like I said, basically because of shame, denial, or their stupid lack of knowledge, they assumed he didn't have no friends at school. Or they just, I don't know. But that does bother me. And that was further from the truth. But they isolated him from internet and all this. What did they expect? But he did have friends. And I'm so glad this lady brought that out.
Basically, the only kid didn't really have an iPad.
Yeah. She did say that, some kids can get their iPads taken away from the school if they're misusing them. Different things like that. But she didn't imply that that was the case.
And so. She, most people would want their kids to, whether we like it or not, technology is here and it's here to stay. And, right. You got to have your kids need to be brushed up on that stuff, right? Because right. It's going to be in everyone's job, or it is already pretty much. Right. So that was interesting. Mm-hmm. Let me see here. What else was there? I'm trying to think. Can you talk about the what was it?
One
it's online. It's on her page. It's on
about
her
the
page.
iPads is that something that was interesting is that they have kids in Sumner County that do homeschooling, strictly homeschooling, and those homeschooling children are issued iPads.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
There's about 1,500. Also, there's about 1,500 students that attend Beach High School.
1,500. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When Sebastian went missing, can you talk about his belongings and stuff?
Yeah. So, one thing that she mentioned was, there wasn't like an urgency to like from certain parents to like go through them or like, you know, come and get them or you know, go through, you know, want to see if anything was there that could help, you know.
Right. If he left
Right.
anything curious there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That might trigger something.
Oh,
She
congratulations.
specifically talked about an incident. There was a child not long ago who passed away, and the mom of the boy, didn't want to leave the school. Couldn't.
The mom didn't.
Right. She didn't want to leave the school. She wanted to be in his seat. She wanted to do everything that would make her feel so close to her son. And she said
sad.
It was, heartbreaking. So she, the mom wanted to be as close to her son as she could.
That breaks my heart. God,
and you're at school most of the time.
Right. That's the thing. Like kids, like during their waking hours, the teachers and the other pupils, they see, each other more than you see them. You know what I mean? During the week.
Right.
And this mom, she was just wanted to be around, I guess, his friends and all of that. And
she specifically said she wanted to sit in his seat. That was something that she remembers. She said she just wanted to sit in his seat so she could feel close to him.
Not Katie.
That's sad. And so did any of the parents get Sebastian's belongings?
Yes, I believe she said that Seth, of course he got, and he got the award. She said that he was doing ag, or ag went along with FFA. And so they awarded that certificate to him. And of course they gave that to Seth.
Right. And what is ag?
It's like ag class is kind of like a specialty class, kind of like an extracurricular class, like agriculture, farming. They might build stuff in ag. So things like that.
He had to do that in person, right? I think.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He was proud of that. I think I think Mohawk, you're all right. I think they presented the reward to Seth at the vigil. Someone said.
Okay. Yeah.
Perhaps. I know what FFA is, but I didn't know what ag is, so I wasn't sure about that. So Seth got all of his stuff, and I guess the others have they been to the school at all since in the last 15 months?
Not that they're aware of.
Excuse me.
No, not that they're aware of.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What did they say Sebastian was like at school?
She said that he was very sweet. She said he was sweet and funny, but I did ask her, I said, did he have friends? And she said, yes, he did have friends. And so that made me feel good.
That's good.
That's exactly right.
And he was in a program of Why We Try program. And so she said that was kind of a like a specialty program. And some kids stayed in there in that that class, it's almost like it was like their home room or their home base,
Right.
if you will. And some kids would stay in with that one teacher all day long. And then they would even have some aides with some of those kids. Now, Sebastian, she said, was in there, but didn't have to stay in there all day. He got to go to, classes like ag or, English, things like that. He didn't have to.
I'm Marnie Hughes, and this is Missing. Thank you for joining us. Each week, we cover a missing person case that isn't getting much attention. Every missing person matters, no matter their race, background, or circumstances. By highlighting these cases and sharing their stories, we believe every case is solvable. And together, we can bring answers to the family and friends of the missing. This week's featured case, Jonathan Wong, 21 years old, from Arlington in Washington State. Jonathan is on the autism spectrum and left home around March 30th.
First thing we look is, well, did he take his jacket? Because if he went anywhere, we would have his jacket. So didn't have his favorite jacket on, didn't bring his wallet, his IDs at home, his passports at home. He has cash that he saved and his little piggy bank. That's all here.
Hold on a minute, I knocked it off. I know, y'all. Hold on a minute. I hit a button. Sorry. Hold on a minute. Why
Some
is
of
it not?
those kids didn't
Can y'all hear
change
that? 'Cause I don't
periods
know why it's
like
not coming
some of
back
the
on.
other kids, you know. So some of those kids were
Okay,
kept.
there we go. Can y'all hear that?
They're not going from class to class like the other kids, and so they don't get to socialize in between classes. But
Can
they
y'all hear
are
that now?
friends in that class, you know. There's always friends for everyone.
Yes. And, the way it made it sound in the beginning is like,
Right.
oh, well, Sebastian thinks his
Right.
friends at school or, people at school he talks to aren't his friends.
Right.
And that's not
right.
true. You don't have to
No.
hang out after school or whatever to be
Sure.
friends.
Right. Right. And the teachers loved him. You know, they cared a lot about him.
Yeah.
And still do.
Can you can you speak? Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to say, can you speak how this has affected? Don't say specific names, but
Mhm.
if how it has affected some teachers and students.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
in the
was our true
beginning,
country girl.
when this happened, they had prayer meetings in the mornings, and they would wear green to honor him. And she said it was amazing to see how many kids that didn't know him or interact with him showed up for him. And it has affected a lot of the staff there, and it still affects them.
Mhm.
They still wear green for him. She said this past year they wore green for him on his birthday. They wore green for him, on the anniversary. It's hard for those teachers.
Mhm. Because he confided in
Yes.
a few of them more specifically.
Correct. Yes.
And I know they've taken this really, really hard.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. There was one point, Justin, where we were talking. She doesn't watch YouTube.
Right.
She's heard about, some of the things on YouTube. And I told her, I said, I didn't go on YouTube before this case. So I told her, I said, so I wanted to listen to the interviews and, hear what was going on. And that's when I started going to YouTube. And I just said, it broke my heart. And I told her some things, and there was one part where she just put her head down on the table. She was emotional. This has really affected these teachers.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's how do you explain a perfectly healthy, vibrant 15-year-old boy
Yeah.
Who his KK claims that he just walked out of the house.
Yeah, and that's exactly how we started the conversation out. She said, how does somebody go missing in this day and time with zero trace? Technology is everything now, and nobody goes missing these days, especially a teenager,
Right?
Without any trace.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
I don't want to again say specifics, but the staff there, locals in general, find this very strange about Sebastian. Correct.
Oh, very, yes, very. I mean, you know, as much law enforcement presence, this rocked their community, and they haven't seen anything like it.
Right. Well, I mean, people don't. I mean, it's a middle upper class neighborhood, right? I mean, it's right outside of Nashville. It's it's
That's a good school. Let me tell you, that's a good school.
Sebastian,
my granddaughter went there. My cousins,
he liked to
all
talk,
of them
right?
went there.
Right.
It's
And
a good school.
He was the type of person that would
She transferred now.
confide in certain
right after
people if
Sebastian.
there was problems or whatever going on.
Right.
And do you think I give a flying fuck? Don't block them. Do you think I really care? Do you want me to drop a link? Would you like to come up here and speak to me face to face? Because do you know how many times all of these nonsense creators have been reported? Do you? And that trash is still on here? I don't give a shit what you do. Report away. Now, would you like a link? Because you're not making me leave or stop.
What do they think of the police department? Someone asked.
Her thoughts were, she does not think that Sumner County is heading up this investigation. She thinks TBI or FBI is.
Really?
Yeah, she said,
Oh, can you speak to who came and searched the computers? I thought that was interesting.
Oh, that was interesting, y'all.
Hendersonville police came and searched the computers.
Well, and they're the ones who called and wanted logs of everything.
Right. I found that interesting. Hendersonville police, not Sumner County.
Yeah, it was Hendersonville. Yeah. And so they think that, again, this is just what they think, that TBI is leading it up, or FBI, because that was the biggest presence in their school. The following days, TBI was in the school using the conference room as an interview room to interview the teachers and some of the kids.
The teacher whose conference room they were in, I've been in touch with, and she's talked to me about that as well. And it's, I don't know, but there was a lot of different agencies working together.
Yeah.
A lot of different agencies, and they have certainly been working, very hard. I just don't think, I think they're missing something, and obviously they're missing Sebastian, but
and I will say she was floored too. She said, I just don't understand why there hasn't been movement. she didn't say anything bad about Sumner County, but she was concerned. She just said, I'm just so surprised that there hasn't been more movement or more information on what they're doing. So,
and you remember the parent teacher conference, right?
yes, that did happen.
Yes.
And it was stated that it was very awkward.
It was very awkward.
Very awkward. Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable too. Yes, very uncomfortable.
That's what the I'll just say staff member emailed me and said that it was very uncomfortable because of the way certain people's was behaving at that time.
And I think that stood out to that person, especially after he went missing.
Yeah, because that wasn't very long.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, what, less than 2 weeks or so?
Right.
Yeah.
Very, very close in time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else? Did you ask if Sebastian had ever expressed about running away or?
No, I didn't. And she didn't bring that up.
Okay.
In fact, it was almost the opposite. That it was, there's no way that he would have left.
Yeah, that's exactly what the other people told me too.
Shoes or some type of technology or some type of device. There's no way that would have happened. Just if he was planning to go somewhere, there's no way he would have left shoes.
Right.
He would have put his shoes on.
I agree with her.
Jacket, money, things to prepare to go somewhere. That didn't even get brought up about him thinking of running away.
Yeah. Someone says, what do they think happened? Well, they don't think that he ran away.
Right.
Nobody there does. Nobody. Not a single person.
No.
Not a single person.
Nope.
They know him. And I've spoken
and based
with several.
and what I learned too is based off of what they learned, especially with the technology there, learning that he wasn't communicating with anyone. They don't believe he was lured out by a stranger.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that is also an important point. I don't think we actually, we said they didn't find anything on his thing, but he wasn't even attempting to get on anything bad in any, because they can see, right? And
there's fire. They have a very strict, like very, she talked about the firewall system is very secure now. They can tell if things have been accessed. And if you think about, if they try to access, it won't let them access it, but it'll flag it for them, and they can see that on their account. And not only that, and when they go to use a school computer for anything, they have to write down their name, the time, almost like you're checking out a book.
Right. You have to log in, like a physical log.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of that was checked.
You have a physical log, and then you have to log in on the computer as well.
Correct.
As the student.
And all of those were checked within the first days.
Yeah. That's a good question, Ash. I don't know if she asked it. Did you ever ask about the trash can comment, if that's true or not?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
If you, I know you or your mom will talk to her again for sure, but ask her if she knows anything about that.
Okay. Yeah. We did talk about the trash, but not about what, anything that he talked about.
Yeah.
With trash. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and
she did tell me that the dogs hit at the dumpster in the construction area.
I'm so sorry.
And I think that everyone there was floored when mom and stepdad left town.
Yes. Yeah. It was past floored, I would say.
Yes, I would. Yes, past floored.
Because there's been people there that have spoken to me about that as well, and about the leaving stuff out on the porch.
Right, and I told her that because, of course, I heard that here. She didn't know about that, and that's when she just couldn't believe it. She said, "You have got to be kidding me."
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
because
"No."
they only know, she only knows stuff from obviously being in school with Sebastian and the news. And that's it. That's it. Right. I mean, she doesn't know the YouTube, stuff.
No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was floored and just said, "I cannot believe that. Why would you leave stuff on the porch while your child's missing? Especially if he knew the code to get back in the house."
Mm-hmm.
But again, that goes back to the behavior of one mom that loses her son. She wants to be at the school every minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you have another mom that doesn't want to be even in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And that behaviors speak volume.
Right. Here, honey, I'll put some stuff out on the porch. It's not like, the keypad. I mean,
yeah.
What more? What's that going to do? Is that for show? I mean, if he knows the keypad, for God's sakes, like.
I just wonder if she put shoes on the porch as well for him.
Interesting.
Anyways.
Did she say anything? People were asking about bruises. Did you ask about that?
We did talk about that. We talked about the Costco picture.
Mm-hmm.
And she was aware. She said it did look like a bruise to her. She didn't see, physical things at school like that.
Mm-hmm.
So really, we just talked about the Costco picture. And she did say that was alarming.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was a bruise, it absolutely would have been reported.
Yeah.
Without him even coming to a teacher, if they would have seen that, they would have reported it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Oh, so see, they report stuff even without Sebastian having a tail. I wonder how many times that happened, because even if they suspect something, I mean, that's their duty. They have to tell. So I was just curious about that as well. I was reading an email, and I guess it's again, I guess it's okay. This person said they are watching. They're watching, and it says, I did hear the same thing. Sebastian's school computer that required his login ID was searched with negative results. We agree that Sebastian's parents didn't allow friends over and tried to control his movement. The song you played 15 minutes ago made my wife cry. Oh, I know it made us all cry. And thank you for watching in the background. What law enforcement official jokes about RAPE, snuggle, snuggle, he needs to be removed. No child should be called the R word. I hate that word. My daughter wants to know if geofencing and a tower dump was done. And Justin, clarify this for me, but yes, it was done, correct? That's why he got so upset about his truck. In my opinion, let me just go down and make sure. Yeah. So I'm reading this email, y'all, but yes, I believe all that was done, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's why when he went on Elevated Truth, he was so upset about that, because I believe it did ping. You see the truck, this person said that okay, so you see the truck and van outside, and them more so after Sebastian went missing. In my opinion, they were ashamed of him. We couldn't avoid every camera. It's not possible. You do know the corner house is a sheriff's deputy. Yes. Something is not right in Denmark. I agree. Thank you for writing me that. Thank you. Oh, Lord, this breaks my heart. Okay.
And she didn't really go into and I don't think I think it's the thing to do. She didn't go into about what Sebastian confided in them or anything like that at all.
No, she didn't go into that at all. No.
Yeah.
The only thing she said was he confided in his teachers, not his friends.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. His friends didn't know what was going on at home.
Wow. I don't think anybody did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that, he confided in especially one teacher. But, as a kid, it's embarrassing. Kids carry around shame because they think that they're doing something wrong. But when they get comfortable with someone that's saying, that's not right, it helps them understand and helps them, know that they can talk to somebody that they feel safe. And that's absolutely what he was doing. He felt safe at school. And he loved school.
Yeah, he really loved school. I mean, his life, pretty much consisted of home, school, Edgar KK's school, sets, those three things. And that's, pretty much it.
And she said that they all found it very bizarre that the morning that he went missing, that, KK drove through the school parking lot.
I forgot about talk about that. Yes.
Yeah. She said that was extremely bizarre. They have it on video. She didn't stop to get out or, truly see if he was inside the building, investigate, like,
she didn't look around the building or anything like that.
Just drove through the parking lot.
Because they're like, if you go behind the school, there's a lot back there behind the school. There's like a
Yeah.
greenhouse and everything back
She
there.
didn't have time to do all that. 'Cause
See, I haven't been behind. I've never been behind
Yeah,
the school.
there's a lot of school behind there. And not just, it's a huge school.
Yeah. Oh, and what I found interesting, I know this isn't related to Sebastian, but she did talk kind of about the proximity of the schools. She was saying that in Sumner County they don't have like a full elementary school. Like some schools are like pre-K through 5th grade, and then you have your middle school, which is like 6th through 8th, and then high school's 9th through 12th. In Sumner County, they have like K through 2nd, and then they have like 2nd through 5th grade. And she said that they used to have 5th graders going with the middle schoolers. So it used to be 5th through 8th, but they've separated it now. And I thought that was really interesting to kind of separate those age groups, because, you think about kindergartners having to go to school with 5th graders. And so, I don't know, I just thought that was interesting. And so she did say that there was another school super close. Was it maybe the middle school? She said there was a Hobbs and a J.W. Hunter or something, JT. Anyways, she said that there was another school very close by, Beach High School. So
She didn't really get into the pull-ups or anything, did she? She just
we did talk. We talked about it. She didn't go into a lot of details about it, but yes, we did talk about it.
Yeah. And
and we talked about how he didn't have to wear them at Seth's house. And when a child has that problem, it makes it worse when you bring it up.
Yeah.
When you're belittling or getting on to a child that has that problem, especially a 15-year-old, it makes the problem worse. You're not supposed to, there's ways that you can help, maybe bathroom reminders or things like that.
Yeah.
But when you're disciplining a child for those problems, it makes it worse, and it is wrong. 1000%.
Yeah. It sure does. But going through the, when KK went to the school, she literally was zooming through it, right? Windows rolled up, completely,
correct, yes.
not, looking anywhere. She never got out. Very similar to the neighborhood. Window rolled up, up and down, and that's it.
Right.
Wow. Was there anything else? I'm trying to remember.
I am too. We talked about, the pull-ups. We talked about, we talked about CPS cases, in Sumner County. It's just, I know that those staff, all teachers, it's a heavy burden to carry when you know that a child is going through something. I think a lot of teachers feel like CPS fails children. And that is such a heavy thing for the teachers to have to carry. Any staff at a school to carry when they report those things. It doesn't just stop at school. Those teachers carry it when they go home.
Of course.
And they truly care about these kids.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if, you know, it's just, I don't know if CPS is just, they're overworked. They're not
They are.
being trained correctly.
They're overworked.
Yeah, they're absolutely overworked. And I think sometimes these teachers are even scared to deal with CPS. They don't know if the problem's going to get handled correctly. They worry for these children.
No, he wasn't. Sebastian wasn't a handful in school. No, he wasn't. I mean,
his one teacher that did that interview, I was telling y'all this yesterday. She said that you couldn't even tell Sebastian had any issues or anything. I mean, he was just basically a ray of sunshine and everything like that. Joe says, I would never call CPS first. I'll call 911, meet with the cops personally away from the scene. Exactly. You know, a million times over, unless the cops can't handle it or they feel like that CPS needs to be called, there's not really one reason CPS does need to be called. I mean, now I know they're mandated in school and all that, of course, but you know, that's what the law is there for, and then it's their job if that's what they feel, you know. But I kind of agree with you, Joe. I do. It's just sad all the way around. And then once they get involved, Lord only knows what's going to happen. The wrong thing or the wrong thing or the real wrong thing. You know, very seldom will the right thing get done. That's just my opinion. Oh, boy.
did he allegedly have some behavioral occasionally, you know, but so does every kid, I think, you know, almost.
Right. And she didn't go into specifics about the behaviors. And just because we say the word behavior, it doesn't mean, you know, that they're being bad. They just might be, you know, there's just some different.
You have to find out what works for them.
Correct.
Is what you have to do. You have to find out what you know, it's kind of like what is it, the love language kind of thing. And you have to find out how each specific kid responds to, you know, what helps them.
Right.
And you know what motivates them. And hold on one second. What is this?
Yeah.
What were there any cars or staff at the school when she drove by, though?
She didn't go into that.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't. If there was, I mean, it wasn't. You know, she didn't say, "Hey, is my son here?" I can't find. You know,
She didn't get out. She didn't even get out.
No, she just drove through the parking lot.
Not slowly either.
Right.
She wasn't slow about it either.
Right.
Recently in her interview, she said, as soon as I got to the school, that's when he, I guess meaning Edgar, told me to turn around. They're on their way.
Yeah. And what time did she drive through that school? Like, she didn't tell me, but it had to have been.
It was between 6:38 and 6, no later than latest could have been 6:50.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was teachers there, but don't they start at like 8?
I don't know what time they start, to be honest.
I don't know, but I wouldn't think anybody would be there at 6:30. I don't know, maybe there was, but I wouldn't think any teachers would be there at 6:30.
Remember when Edgar said Sebastian said something to teachers thinking it would get him out of the house? Did they talk about that already? Well, Edgar said Sebastian thought he was going to get me kicked out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
Something to that effect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mark. Good to see you, buddy. Sebastian was the last pickup of the regular bus en route, correct? I believe so. Yes. Wait, what? Yeah. I mean, like after you get out of the neighborhood, it's what, 30 seconds to the school?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very close by.
I mean, it's very, very close by.
Mm-hmm. And like, I guess if and Long Hollow Pike is it's pretty narrow road.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Justin, was Sebastian in trouble for something at school and that's why they did a parent teacher conference, or was it just a normal check-in 2 weeks before the so it was with a specific it wasn't like it was with a specific what would I guess a specific teacher?
That he confided in?
No, that the parent teacher conference was with, right?
Yes, yeah, I was with a specific teacher.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it wasn't because he was in trouble that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I don't, and I don't know the details of the meeting, just that it was very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very weird. That's what.
Yeah, awkward,
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and definitely stood out after.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm sorry, girl. Hope you feel better.
They didn't know the scope of fully what was going on in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of made sense.
Yeah.
Things kind of make sense when you start to put things together.
What did they say it was like when they first learned Sebastian went missing?
She said it was, heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the prince, like, them doing they did the prayer meetings in the morning. Just it wasn't like a runaway,
Mm-hmm.
It was they.
I think they said, I mean, this other, I'll just say staff member told me that, they thought it was strange in just like immediately hearing that. And then after the first few days, they were like, okay, something's off in their opinion.
Yeah. And they're very sad. I mean, she was very emotional. We were both in tears by the end of the lunch. It's sad.
Mm-hmm. Did the meeting have to do anything with the 5th?
February 5th?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, yeah, that was the meeting. And
well,
and
it was no. Like the 5th is the last time allegedly Edgar was at home, but the day was between the 5th and the 10th, wasn't it? The meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you ask if you can ask her what the specific day was?
I can, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I guess they mean the 5 reports is what they're saying.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she didn't get into any specifics.
And I want to make it clear, because when we say there are 5 reports, that doesn't mean 5 cases. A case and a report is different. From what I understand, there's 3 cases, 5 reports.
Yeah. And I think, whatever was said, it stays there with, those individuals, and I respect that. And, regardless, whatever, he felt confident enough to confide in people, and those things stayed there and those staff members acted appropriately to, report what needs to be reported, and it stays with them. They, to my understanding, they're not talking about specifics, and I respect that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's just nice to know, really, that he had friends, and that he, was a good student, and, he wasn't, talking to anybody at school, or, online, and stuff like that. That's
Absolutely.
good to know.
Yes. That made me feel so much, it validated a lot. I didn't think that was the case. But just and to hear that was checked, first couple of days, that was really telling too.
One thing I think we can all learn from Sebastian is to value friendships.
Absolutely. And
because he really loved his friends, and I always say I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Yes.
4 good, really good friends than 100 so-so friends. You know what I mean? And Sebastian, some of his parents said, all he wanted for Christmas was just friends.
Right.
Right. And, he had friends. He had friends. He just didn't get to hang out with them outside of school, but that's not his fault.
Right. Exactly. And
that's up to the parents.
We did talk about that, and we said, the beautiful thing about this, in this dark situation, which seems like there could be nothing that would be good coming out of this, is that, if Sebastian could see this, how many people have been connected because of him.
Absolutely.
And that is truly a special thing. We have all connected, all of us have connected because of Sebastian.
Yeah.
And I think that, I didn't know him personally, but I think that would make him happy.
Absolutely. And
there's people all over the world that know who he is, and that connect with each other and have formed, friendships because of this.
Yeah.
And I think that in that regard, I think that that's a special thing.
I hope wherever he is, he knows that.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
I really do. Yeah, he very much valued his friendships, and that's such a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Was there anything else?
I'm trying to think. We talked about the dumpster, she did talk about the landfill. She was really sad to see that going on.
Yeah, I think that's when they
Mhm.
uh others have spoke to me about that, and they said when shortly after Sebastian went missing and they were looking in a landfill, they just could not believe
I
they
know.
were looking in a landfill for their student.
Yeah, and she said, that's just never good. Never good out. It's just not a good thing when you're looking for a missing child in a landfill.
Nothing happened at
You know.
school 155. It happened between the 5th and the 10th, somewhere around there. I'll try to get the exact
Yeah,
day.
and I'll ask her if she knows that. She also did talk about the threats.
What?
She said she couldn't believe that there were so many threats going on for searchers.
Oh,
She
gotcha. I
said,
thought they were getting threatened or something. I was like,
oh, no. But, she knew about the threats when the United Cajun Navy came. She just said she's never seen anything like that. People getting threatened for searching, and it's just odd.
Yeah, they United Cajun Navy and Uvalde, they said they have never done a kid's search and received threats ever.
Yeah, and she said, I remember when one of the search teams left because of threats, and she said, I just couldn't believe it. I'd never heard of searchers getting threats. And so,
Looking for a kid? No.
Yeah, and I told her, of course, all of the stuff on YouTube. I said, oh, if you watched YouTube, you would kind of get an idea, because it's horrible.
Yeah.
And there shouldn't be that. There should never, ever, ever be threats for anybody willing to help look or help find answers.
There's only, in my opinion, there's only one reason why someone would threaten someone searching for a child, and that's if they don't want them found.
Right. Yeah.
That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah.
Does the neighbor cop work for Hendersonville PD? I'm sus of everyone at this point. He's a reserve, the neighbor cop. He's a reserve. So he only works as needed.
Yeah, and she didn't know anything about the neighbor cop or anything.
Yeah.
About situations, anybody having to help come, and she didn't know any of that.
Got yeah.
And she did say she has been in the neighborhood. She wanted to see for herself. I mean, and she works right next door, so people think that their neighborhood is kind of in the middle of the woods, and it's really not.
No, it's not at all.
It's very populated.
Yeah.
It's beside a new construction, and the school is right there.
The fire department.
Yeah. So, and it's a
KK just passed by.
Right. And Long Hollow Pike is it's a long road, but that area, especially in the morning when people are going to work and going to school, I'm sure
that's a busy intersection through there, because it's
right. When you're having to go to school, I'm sure that intersection does get kind of congested. But I just can't understand. Again, like she said, how does someone go missing in this time without anything left behind? Like nothing, no trace of anything.
Right.
So,
I mean, I believe the police have traces, but I believe,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I just don't think we have it over, out here. The new subdivision was not developed yet, and the old farm I don't know what you said. Let me see here. And the old farm land, so mostly bare. Yeah, it was in the they were excavating it at that time. But either way you go, like you can go any of the four ways right there at the intersection, and it'll take you, like there's stores along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's it all takes you to the city.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
also there was something too, like did you ever hear about a car being abandoned or a vehicle
yes,
being abandoned?
the
Okay.
white I've got a picture
Yeah.
of it.
I can't remember. It was on Drake's Creek Road.
Mm-hmm.
That, we kind of talked about that too, that was odd because it was the night that Sebastian went missing. There was a vehicle. Now, I can't remember if it didn't have license plates or
I got a
what
picture of it. I think it was
Okay.
I want to say it's a white, it was a Ford, I want to say.
Okay.
Like Explorer, maybe.
Yeah. So, we touched on that. But other than that, that's about it.
I wish they would have had a VIN number on that car. Damn. I wish somebody, whoever took the picture, would have had a VIN number.
Oh, I know. I know. And I don't know. I guess they impound. I don't know what they did with it.
I'm sure they definitely checked that out.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. How far? Do you know how far it was found away?
No, just on Drake's Creek, but I can look that up. Let's see.
No, Marina girl. He never had any school issued technology that he could bring home.
Mm-mm.
He was virtually the only kid that didn't.
Right. It's about 3.4 miles from his home, Drake's Creek.
3.4 miles?
Drake's Creek Road.
Can you send me a map of that? Screenshot.
Sure can. I sure can.
There's some more questions. No, it's not a private neighborhood. Like it's not a gated neighborhood. No.
We did talk about the trash. We did touch on that. We talked about because she brought up the Nick Barris video.
That's a good question, Mohawk. Why did KK say that he had a issued Chromebook?
I don't know because he didn't.
Yeah, I might need to get that clip to you and let her see that.
Yeah, he didn't have any access to any internet as far as she knows. she said that those were all checked.
That's interesting.
And she did say, to her understanding, he didn't have access at home either.
Edgar said in a more recent interview that he took, I think it was Sebastian's phone away, and because he, quote, didn't know how to behave, and he said, KK said, when are you giving it back? And Seth said, it's kind of been long enough. And he said, you have Sebastian come to me. And it's like, dude, both the biological parents are saying giving him his phone back. Who the hell are you? Like,
right. Well, I mean, that kind of just tells you where KK's loyalty lied.
Yeah.
You know, if she wanted to,
Absolutely.
and again, and this is my opinion, if she could have given him back his phone, she's the parent.
Absolutely.
Her and Seth, and that's where her loyalty lied, is with her husband.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, he was spending allegedly too much time on YouTube videos. The irony for someone who spends a lot of time on YouTube.
Agree. No, I have to agree with that.
Yeah. So.
And definitely wasn't using the type of language that we hear from him. I'm sure.
Yeah. KP said getting. Give access. Yeah, he just had a calculator, and he could only call his contacts, and that was it.
And she said she did hear, like, from day one. I think that was the number one thing that they wanted to know, is did he leave with his cell phone? And then they learned that it was still there at the house.
Yeah.
So I think that was what was so concerning, is, again, in this day and time, kids just generally don't leave without anything, you know?
Sorry. This is a lady that had her, Justin, correct me if I'm wrong. Does her mom work at the school? But anyway, they had lunch 2 days ago, and they got into some things about Sebastian. I don't know if Justin's still in here or not. So she was telling us a lot about Sebastian and what was known and stuff like that about Sebastian. So mostly his live last night was about Sebastian and what this caller knew and learned, and that. Yes, Seth did not know about the CPS reports until, remember, Chris and Katie was on my interview, and I popped that out of my head. And of course, Seth was in the bushes, and I didn't know, he didn't know, but to be honest, I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I was just thinking of questions. And like I told Seth, I'm not a professional. So that was one of the questions that I asked. And who knew what his answer was going to be, and go on to continue to be with the belt and so on and so on. And all the things. So Seth didn't learn about any of that until my interview with Chris that night and Katie that night, when they were on my panel, which they demanded, but or more so, I should say, Chris. I'm not so sure Katie did, but I think she's just along for the ride, to be honest with you. But Seth didn't know. Seth had no clue. And how they got away with not telling him or calling him, I don't know, but we see it every day, especially in these other cases that I'm showing you and stuff like that. It happens. It happens. And again, did Mommy Bauer socks? I put a whole crap load of stuff. I mean, she's showing up everywhere now. Was she a notary? Is she involved in more things than we know? I'm just asking questions. I ain't accusing nobody of nothing. But I don't know. Something looks mighty strange and some change, if you ask me. Just saying. Just saying. Things can be done. Hey, how do we know? They have all these burner phones that they didn't say, hey, here's Seth's number. Give him a call. Call him right now. We don't know shit, to be honest with you. I'm just saying. But that's that.
To me, that's interesting that KK said it was on the kitchen counter.
Yeah.
And like, why would it, like, I understand, if she took his phone so he wouldn't be on the internet or whatever, so he would go to bed, but he didn't have access to that. So why would she take his phone at night? He's got a calculator.
Thank you.
That's a good point. I mean, because some kids use their phones as alarms. Nowadays, a lot of kids do. They use their phones as alarms. But I think it's really interesting, too, you bring that up, that the phone was plugged up. He didn't have access to that. It was plugged up in the kitchen. But the Nintendo Switch or the gaming system was plugged up in his bedroom.
No, you can't. It is against the law. However, who are we talking about? And you do know she goes by 2 different names, right? And another thing, you just got to swear under oath to fix documents and stuff that Sebastian's not kin to her, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I'm not accusing nobody. I'm just pointing out the facts. And if you don't think these things happen, and again, I'm not picking on you. I hate it when I have to bring up to answer a question like this. But if you don't think these things happen, and especially in Nashville, and especially in Tennessee, honey, y'all are getting hoodwinked. That's all I got to tell y'all.
Right. And that's always been an alarm for me. He didn't have internet access or anything else on his phone. So, he's 15 years old. He could have absolutely kept it in his room.
Right. And you would think if the reason for leaving the cell phone in the kitchen so he's not on it, maybe he's playing on his who knows, right? You would think that the gaming system would be in the kitchen as well.
It's
so
bizarre.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's bizarre, however they did it. Sharon says, what does the community think of the lights video in common area, or do they know about it?
I think they all know about it, and I think that they think it's odd. They definitely don't think it's a trash truck.
Yeah, I know every single neighbor.
Yeah,
thinks otherwise as well.
Yeah, she's like, it's definitely not, a trash truck, and too, she said, who drives around at 3 a.m. in the morning?
Well, especially in that neighborhood. I said,
yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, listen, when's like in the last 15 months, does anyone think that anyone has went in that neighborhood from midnight to 5 a.m. probably, and just went up a street, turned around, pull in the the road, and run through neighbors' yards? Like,
yeah, it's just
hello, like, for freak's sake, like, and a kid go missing 2 hours and 15 minutes later.
Right. Yeah.
To beat it all.
Yeah, it's definitely odd.
There's just nothing that I mean, we see it's human activity. That we've got the outlines of the humans. I mean,
Right.
Okay, sorry, y'all. Okay, I'm going to stop that because that was it. That was basically it. They're just talking. Somebody else sent me something. And Gabby, y'all drop Gabby right here's link. Okay, this goes to Gabby. Full credit to Gabby. Okay, she wrote something on Sebastian. Some music she wants me to play. Hold on. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but it's okay. If it's about Sebastian, I'm going to play it. So just hold on a minute. I apologize. Hold on. I'm going to leave your name up there. Y'all go to her channel. Have you got a channel, right? Just go there anyway. Drop her link and do that for me, some of my mods. And go sub up to Justin. Justin, that was a wonderful interview. Wonderful. And thank you to that caller for calling in. And I hope you call back. All the neighbors and anybody there in that subdivision, anywhere around there that knows anything, please contact us. Let us know what's going on. We're not going to tell who you are. We can keep you private. Hold on just a minute. Let me present this. And I didn't mean to cut Justin off so fast. It just started playing the music. So hold on a minute. It's Gabby Mist Music. GABIMYST music channel. Okay, she's right up above you, Grace. Click on there, go to her channel, and then copy her link and then drop it in. If you can't do it, I will in just a minute, but hold on a minute.
While the world lay quiet and unaware, you slipped away into the air. 15 years, a gentle soul, a heart of green, heart of gold. No matter when, no matter where, we search for you with love and care. Sebastian's smile, a guiding light, leads us through the longest night. So sweet, so true, you're always near, in every hope, in every tear. We won't stop now, won't turn wrong. We're Sebastian's army, Sebastian strong. We walk each path, calling your name, and keep the spark a steady flame. You live in hearts like burning light, green like an army, for you we fight. No matter when, no matter where, we search for you with love and care. Sebastian's smile, it fuels our stride, lifting our hearts, lighting the sky. So mist, so love, so brave, so true, we won't rest until we find you. We won't give up, no matter how long. We're Sebastian's army, Sebastian's soul. until you're home. We carry on through silent nights and breaking dawn. No matter how far, no matter how long, we stand as one. We're Sebastian's army, Sebastian strong.
Oh my God, that is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. Y'all go over and sub to Gabby. Let me put this back up here just a minute. This is the link. Go over and sub. I love seeing everybody being so creative and writing and doing these songs and everything. It's just so beautiful. It's so amazing. Yes, you want to get it out there for Sebastian. And I'll go over, and when I get off of here, I will absolutely share it. I will share it on X. I will share it on, everything. Everybody share. Anything that helps Sebastian, anything that gets his name and face out there, please share it. Please. That's what we have to do. And we can't let him be forgotten. Now, I want to say this. I want to thank you all for being here, but I want to say this. Sebastian, if by some miracle you hear this, I want you to know you matter and you're not forgotten. We're still looking, and we're still hoping, and we're still believing. We will never give up. Sebastian, we see you. We won't stop saying your name. We won't stop asking questions. You deserve to come home. Everyone is watching. And everyone watching, don't be silent. Be loud. Be relentless. Be kind. And remember, justice don't come easy, but it does come when we don't give up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up so this will go out and it will get around. Share photos of Sebastian. Talk about him. Continue to write letters. Call. No matter what. Do your part. Do what you can. You are all truly amazing, and you are very much appreciated. Stay safe. Stay loud for those who cannot speak for themselves. Share his name and share his face. Be part of the voice that refuses to let Sebastian be forgotten, because we will not allow him to be forgotten. We're not going to allow Sebastian to be forgotten. Thank you all for joining me here, and y'all have a great day. I love you all. Bye.